Welcome to 5 and 5 from the One Stop Co-op Shop, where I discuss 5 key elements of a game in about 5 minutes. I'm Michael Kelly, and today I'm looking at The Search for Planet X from Renegade Games. Disclaimer that I was sent a review copy of this one. I'm generally a fan of mystery and logical deduction games, but I haven't found a really good quick-playing solo one since maybe Black Sonata. Is Search for Planet X what I was looking for? Let's find out and get to the list. So first I'm going to start off talking about the app, which I'll call a mix, because this is one of those newfangled board games that requires an app to play. And I'll start with the negatives and then get to the positives. First of all, there is an app, so if you hate using apps in your board games, this is already going to bother you. Secondly, you have to be constantly engaged and using the app, checking it and clicking through it on every turn, and it's not the fastest interface. It takes a second sometimes from a button press for things to actually happen. And it's certainly not going to blow you away with its presentation. It is entirely functional and that's it. But on the positive side, everything is entirely functional. It does its job, and the big thing is, for this kind of deduction game with lots of hidden information, there is no way to do it without an app unless you would actually have an extra player kind of ticking things off for you and telling you what you found with different investigations. So the app isn't wonderful or amazing, but it is entirely necessary. But getting to a more fully positive part of the app, my number 4 is the solo bot that's used in solo play, because again, this is a solo or competitive game. And there is a lot of good stuff going on with this bot. First of all, their turns are very quick. You just press a couple buttons in the app and they do their thing. You move their pawn around. Secondly, something very important that I appreciate in a deduction game like this, they don't cheat. Any theories they put forward have been legitimately figured out through deduction. And beyond that, I love all the great intersections between the bot and the player. They put down theories that can give you clues and also give you something to race against them point-wise. And they have the difficulty balanced to a really nice razor-thin level where every game feels like a rush to the finish. The one small thing I'll complain about with the bot is that I don't love how they function on the expert side of the board, because they receive some free clues and you never know what those are, which means figuring out what they know and what you can infer from their actions becomes a bit more obfuscated and confusing than I would like. I have another pro at number 3, and those are the theories you propose against the bot throughout the game to earn extra points. So in a lot of deduction games, it really comes down to that final guess or discovering that final piece of information, but the Search for Planet X kind of goes against that trend by giving you these theories you can propose about where specific things are throughout the game. And first of all, this has a great effect on the pacing because it's not all about that final rush. You sometimes need to find key pieces of information even at a cost early, so you have early theories to propose. It also, as I already mentioned, creates more intersection and competition with the bot, gives you some information when they figure out something before you do, so you don't feel totally railroaded and run over. And overall, at least for me, it's a nice change of pace, again, from deductive games where it's all or nothing, like Clue, where I either get it right or I'm out of luck. And I have another pro at number 2, a lot of pros here, and this is focused on the deduction and logic in the game. So first of all, I like these kind of games anyway, so this was an easy sell for me, but I like how the different spatial bodies each have their own logical rules they follow from game to game, but then you have some variety in those rules in the research topics you can pursue for very little time cost that gives you these other kind of spatial relationships between the objects, and if you want to, you can dig even deeper into the logical permutations in a way that really kind of reminds me of Sudoku, where you can propose and then eliminate these hypothetical possibilities to eventually arrive at an answer. I'm sure in competitive play, if you played that way, it would really slow things down, but with solo, nobody's waiting on you, so it works great. And finally, the thing I want to most call out about the game is another pro, and that's the great time track and how it integrates with your surveying of the night sky. So you've got these time spaces, and every action you take will move you around them, and whoever's furthest back gets to go. We've seen that before, but it works great. But then on top of that, in a nice marriage of theme and mechanics, wherever you are around the board, whatever time of day it is, limits what visible sky you can observe. And so you have to plan not only how far you want to move, how much you want to get ahead of the other player, but also where you want to be in the rotation of the Earth, and which investigation will be most fruitful based on your current location. It is really clever, really fun, and really changes up and invigorates the puzzle even more. So overall, I'm going to give the Search for Planet X a big solo recommend for anybody who enjoys logical deduction, whether you like playing Clue, or doing Sudoku puzzles, or playing Black Sonata, or any of that kind of stuff. If you enjoy those little logical inferences, this one should be a blast for you. On the other hand, you might want to avoid it for solo play if you don't like apps, because the integration is heavily required here. And also, the bot can be very challenging and has the potential to set the pace for the game and maybe finish it up before you want it to, which I think might be frustrating for some players, or something else to be cautious about. And if you'd like to see the game in action with a quick solo play, click the link that just popped up. Good gaming, and I'll see you at the next stop.